You're listening to the Conference Board of Canada's Mental Health and COVID-19 series with Dr. Bill Howatt, Chief of Research, Workplace Productivity.
Hi, Bill Howatt, Mental Health COVID-19 with the Conference Board of Canada. I'm here today to talk to you about sleep disturbances, and people are struggling with some insomnia and having some challenges with sleep. One of the things about sleep, before I get into the strategy, I'd like to go through 4 things to think about how it works. And first is that often people have what are called sleep disturbances because of certain risk factors. So, for example, COVID-19 has resulted in a lot of stress, financial stress, could be relationship stress, it could be job stress. So there's different risk factors that can amplify a risk profile for having sleep disturbances, meaning you're waking up through the night, can't get to sleep, don't know how to relax, struggling to follow sleep, waking up earlier. No sleep, disturbances can result in what are called life challenges or daily problems. So you think about it, risk factors, then you have your sleep disturbance, and the fallout, the consequence of not getting sleep is, things like fatigue. Now, I'm the chair of the CSA standard that we're doing in impairment. It was one of the first of its kind in the world, and it's gone to public review now. And there's all kinds of impairment, from fatigue to alcohol and drugs. We know that one big thing is when people do not get enough sleep, it can impair their performance, and it, for example, put them at risk even if they were driving a car or doing things. So sleep's really, really important. So that sleep disturbance can get into lots of problems, even irritability, mood, emotion, etc. Now, the next step is you go through that continuum. When we are having sleep disturbance and sleep problems, what we often can end up doing is get into what are called what we call is compensating behaviors. For example, we might drink some alcohol, or we might, take sleeping pills. We might do different strategies that may be counterproductive in an effort to try to get to sleep. And that kind of creates a vicious loop for what we're doing. And insomnia, for people having challenges, there are lots of different tools out there that can help people. Like our iCoach, for example. That's a sleep app. There's different things you can do that can help you. But what I'm going to do today is, again, this is not counseling, therapy, or anything. Just going to give you some ideas on how to improve your ability to go to sleep. I'm going to use a mnemonic sleep because it just makes sense. The S stands for sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene basically means is being mindful of the pattern you're going to do up to the point you're going to sleep. So, 30, 60 minutes, you start a pre-bed routine. You get away from stimuli and blue lights and computers, but 60 minutes away. You're starting to move yourself. You want to help get yourself, your mind and body ready, not to be tired, but sleepy. So what you're doing is you're get your pajamas on, if that's what you do. If you're going to have a nice warm bath, things that are settling your mind to wind your day down. It's a routine. Your bedtime, having a pre-routine, your bedtime. So if your bedtime's at 11, you start your routine at 10. And so we're not rushing, because what we want to be doing is slowing our mind down. You might want to do some journaling, get everything off your mind, or get your notes ready for tomorrow. You want to empty your mind. So sleep hygiene is that whole pattern to get yourself ready for going to sleep. That's sleep hygiene. It's your routine. Now, the L. You need to learn. The L is learn through stimulus response that your bed is a place for sleep. Now, it can be for other things. That could be another video. But primarily what we want you to do is think about is for sleep. So you want to start pegging when you're tired, no, when you're sleepy, when you go to bed from a stimulus response, that when you lie down, your mind and your body is ready to go to sleep. And what you're doing is you're anchoring that bed and night are times for sleep. That's what we're trying to ensure that you're getting focused on. Now, if you understand that L, learn that routine, then what you do is you move to the E. So if you get to that bed, keep in mind stimulus response, that meaning the bed is for sleep. The E is to end any opportunities for tossing and restlessness. So if you get into bed and you're there for more than 15, 20 minutes tossing and turning, then what you need to do is say to yourself, not anchor that process, but from stimulus response, say, okay, I'm not ready for sleep yet. I'm not sleepy because I'm tossing and turning. You get up, you go to another room, and you get away from your bed. So you're going to break that routine from your bed, and then you're going to move into the next E, engage into boredom. So what you want to do is we don't want to be turning on TV. Some people will work, but you're better off staying something that there's no stimulation. Reading a book like Moby Dick or something. Not some of you might actually like that book, but not that it was a bad book. But my point being is read something that is somewhat boring. Focus on something that's boring, like you're, doing crossword. If you find that boring, something that you find boring that kind of winds you down. Because what's happening is you want your mind you don't want to get tired, but you want to start to see yourself get sleepy. And sleepy means your eyes start getting heavy, you start getting the head nod, and then now your body's ready again to go back to bed using the stimulus response, and you'll try it again. And if it doesn't work, then you get up. And what you're going to train your brain is that the bed is for sleep in the dark. Shift work would be another variable, and we'd have to talk about how you can end up supporting that in another video. And the last one is the P. The P is progress monitoring. So one of the good things to do is to start tracking your sleep log. Creating a sleep log is saying, I went to bed at 10:30. I did these things for my hygiene. I got up once. Another thing you can be doing is if you have one of these apps, like a Fitbit or something, you can be monitoring how many spikes you had. And you can start training your brain. How is your sleep hygiene process working? Are you getting away from the bed? Are you getting yourself to the board? And you can start going. And the last thing I will say to you is if you're having what we call our worrisome thoughts, and you're having worrisome thoughts and anxiousness, and for whatever you can't objectively start to move through your routine because your mind is fully distracted, those worrisome thoughts are much from rooted on anxiety and stress. Then what we want to do is get you to start focusing on how are some strategies that you can deal with worrisome thoughts. And that'll be another video. We'll talk about worrisome thoughts. For this video, I want to keep it pretty focused on creating the pattern of sleep hygiene, learning you have your bed is that kind of concept, that stimulus response, nighttime, bed, dark, your bed's associated for sleeping. And the tosslessness, instead of lying there for hours, you get up every 15 minutes, as long as it takes. Engage in boredom in another room. Make sure you're in another room. And then come back, not when you're tired, but when you're sleepy. And then monitor your progress, what's working. And you'll create a positive feedback loop. And you'll notice through time, usually through a couple of weeks, you can start to really get some really good improvement in your sleep pattern by bringing it to your forefront. So hopefully you got a couple ideas from that. And as I always say, we'll get through this process one day at a time. I wish you all the best and have yourself a great day. Hi, Bill Howatt here. Hopefully you're finding these videos of some value. If you'd like to share these, on the lower right of your video, there's a icon you can click. You can send it through your social media feeds. Join the Conference Board of Canada social media feed so we can keep you up to date. And if you have ideas, suggestions, please leave your comment so we can consider them. And if you have things that you'd like us to speak to, I certainly will try to do all I can to help out. With that, have a wonderful day.